Police are hunting for a man and accomplices who stole a woman's phone and wallet while she was still inside her car after a collision in which she sustained serious injuries. Siobhan Johnson had to be cut from her vehicle after it collided with a truck near Takanini, south of Auckland, last Thursday afternoon. Now, in a Facebook post, her partner, Murray Howell, said with Siobhan still in the car, injured and in obvious distress, a man and a couple of associates simply helped themselves. Inspector Tony Wakelin from the Auckland Police told me what happened then.
We do have a witness that saw a silver Subaru leaving the scene, and that one of the persons from that vehicle threw out a wallet, minus the credit card, and within 30 minutes, that mail that's been circulated on social media has gone into service stations and the warehouse on at least 8 occasions and made purchases using PayWave.
And you know who this person is now, don't you?
Well, we do. Our staff have had a look at the CCTV footage and we're confident that we know who it is, and we're going to go locate that person and speak to them. Were
they previously known to you?
Oh, at this point in time, I probably can't comment too much on that. Suffice to say the staff did recognise him, but until we talk to him, he's an alleged offender at this point in time.
OK, absolutely. What's not alleged is that someone did this, whether or not it's this fellow. Someone took the wallet in those circumstances and went on a spending spree with the owner of the wallet seriously injured in a car crash not far behind them. What is your assessment of that kind of behaviour?
Oh, John, that's cowardly and callous. It really is. I mean, I think it shows the two extremes of people in our society. The majority of them on that day were there to look after our victim, make sure she's cared for in a traumatic situation, and then we have these lowlifes that have come along and taken advantage of the bag being unattended and stolen property, and then gone on and caused more trauma to her by using it.
Yeah, and to her family too, right? Because phone lost, I mean, suddenly all of this assumes a larger significance, doesn't it? The photos, because of the extent of the injury and the panic the family is feeling.
Oh, exactly. I think most of us have seen her partner's social media rant, but can understand why he'd be so traumatised by it himself. For all the reasons you've mentioned, he'd be shocked at his partner being involved in a crash, and then to top it off, now have these lowlifes using it around the city, committing fraud.
Inspector Wakelin, I'm going to ask you a personal question that you may not want to answer because it requires a value judgment from me, but let's begin with the simple fact. How long have you been a cop for?
30 years.
Right, and in the 30 years that you've been a cop, are you seeing more and more examples of this really terrible failure of empathy, or has that always been part of the mix of what you deal with?
It's pretty hard to judge. I mean, there's always been that element of lack of empathy from some of our criminal element, but it's probably a fair comment to say it is getting worse. Thankfully, this sort of incident is not a regular occurrence. I'm sure we do have plenty of thefts and volume crime, but not in this sort of circumstance where we have a person who's seriously injured and someone's taken advantage of that situation. But it's a shame that we do still have people in society that do this sort of thing.
Inspector Tony Wakelin from the Auckland Police talking to us earlier.